So let's talk about Arc Raiders. This last weekend, they just had their server slam, giving players a taste of the game while stress testing the servers before launch. And I wanted to make a quick video about my thoughts, specifically why people who are overhyping the game are wrong, and why people who are hating on the game are also wrong. In my opinion, of course. This is all my opinion. All right, so in case you've been living under a rock over the past couple of months, Arc Raiders is a PvPvE extraction shooter set in like a post-apocalyptic wasteland sort of thing. These giant robots called Arcs are constantly a threat on the surface, and they have taken over the surface. They make it a little bit unsafe to live there. Most of humanity has gone underground, and the few brave souls that decide to venture up to the surface are known as raiders, and that's who you play as. So the core loop of the game is very simple. Go to the surface, loot, survive, bring stuff back safely, sell it, or craft it into other gear, rinse and repeat. Easy, right? Well, it's not that easy. These things that I had mentioned before, arcs, they're always trying to kill you. And don't forget, they're also players. That's the PvP part of the PvPvE part of the extraction shooter genre. If you die on the surface, you lose everything. And that's the appeal. That's the appeal of an extraction shooter. There it is. So I've seen this comment a lot in comment sections, and other people have told me this. Well, it's only 10% of the game. How can you judge it? How can you judge it on only 10% of the game? And to that, I say, why did they give us surveys at the end of each run? Why did they even do this server slam to begin with? Why are they connecting with the community to know about the game? It's so we can say this stuff, so we can judge it. So let's talk about overhyping the game. First off, I want to get a couple of things out the way. The game, it's beautiful. It looks amazing. The graphics are fantastic. All of the textures, all of the particles, it looks really, really awesome. The sound design is really cool. There's a lot of different sounds for different things. It's very clear and easy to know what is going on just by the sounds. Other than those two things, the graphics and the sound, I think the gunplay is tight. I think the crafting is solid. I think the menus for crafting is solid. I think the hub is fine. I think the weapon variety is also there. I think the enemy variety is there. Obviously, there's enemy variety there's other players there as well. So I think the game has pretty much everything that it said it was going to have. So that being said, let's take a beat. Some people are calling this game of the year. Some people are saying that it's the next big thing, that it's the next big game. And I'm sitting here saying like, hey, this is only 10% of the game, guys. How can we judge it? Some people are like really holding it up as like it's going to be the next Fortnite, this kind of level of game where is it going to be a game of the year contender? Sure. Is it going to win game of the year? Dude, maybe. But in my experience in the server slam, I played with a good amount of people, a good amount of randoms. And pretty much everybody that I played with, like we played a couple of rounds and then somebody would drop out. All right, I need to go grind 2K. There was the same weekend, 2K had some getting extra VC. People were hopping out playing 2K. People were hopping out, grinding out, back into Siege, Battlefield 6, obviously, people were going through. And I think who this game was made for is like definitely people who are into extraction shooters, or if that sounds interesting to you, like that idea sounds interesting to you, this game is definitely for you, right? Like it is what it sounds like is what it is. Like there's nothing in between. Like it is what it tells you that the game is. It's exactly that. I think it's great for casual gamers that like to dabble in a little bit of everything. Like they like to play this game, I like to play that game, I like to play this. I think this is a solid game for you. I think it's also really good if you have a tendency to play a lot of looter shooters and you have played battle royales. This might be a game that you would enjoy, and maybe survival game fans. So like if you like Rust or Don't Starve Together or Trials of Midgard, I think this game might also be for you. But it being the next big thing, I don't know. But I think, it definitely has a place. in my gameplay experience, I think I had an okay time. I ran with some friends. I ran with a different array of friends playing the game, and then I ran with randoms. And the array of friends that I played with were people that like wanted to play really passive. I played with people that were very aggressive. That we would follow the flares when they would go and try and get some fights, get loot that way. And so I got to experience different play styles of the game, right? A very passive play style, a very aggressive play style. And I think one of the things with Arc Raiders that became very apparent is that while it has the benefits of both a looter shooter and a battle royale kind of in one thing, it also has both of the negatives, in my opinion. So one of the negatives I feel when it comes to a looter shooter is time advantage, right? Where it's either the friends that you play with or the people that you play against. The more time that they have, the better, right? And I'm sure there are people in the comments that are going to be like, well, that's any game. If you have time, you're going to get better at it. Yeah, but I think some games are strictly reliant on skill. And this game is it's supposed to be a mix, right? It's skill and loot, right? You want to have kind of a mix of both. Like if I can mentally theory craft about a game and then hop in and execute right away, that's really fun to me versus, just getting beamed by somebody that, had a bunch of gear, or playing with somebody and they're like, oh, here's all the gear. Now you're at my level and now we can go do this super crazy thing. Even though you didn't do all of the steps to get to that crazy thing, we're just going to go straight to that crazy thing and do that crazy thing together. The other thing is the pacing. The pacing of the game is just, if you played a battle royale, it's quite similar, or a survival game. Sometimes it's a vibe, dude. Like, honestly, sometimes you're just mellowed out, you're chilling, taking in the sights, you're relaxing. And sometimes you load in and you got to go to a point of interest and you're walking and you're walking and you're walking and you're walking. And then it just feels like a trek, dude. It just feels like you're, doing that, I think with these games, they're known to have high highs and really low lows. And that's, you feel that. I think in a game like Apex Legends, for instance, which is a battle royale, it's not a PvP extraction shooter. One of the things that it does really well at the beginning is that when you drop in, you can see a trail of everybody around you on where they're at. So if you want to play more aggressive, you can, and you know where to go. Whereas in this game, the movement doesn't allow for that hyper aggressive gameplay, right? Because there's still a stamina bar that, the more that you run, the more that you tumble, the more that you vault on stuff, that stamina bar depletes and increases. And you can mitigate that by investing in a skill tree. But again, that's time, right? The more time I invest in the skill tree, the more I'll be able to mitigate a lot of that stuff. But if I don't spend time investing in that skill tree or just playing the game, I won't be able to achieve that level of mobility that I want to be able to do these things. So it's just kind of, they go back and forth. I think the thing and the reason why a lot of people are overhyping this game is because Arc Raiders did something extremely rare in gaming, which is, in my opinion, they delivered exactly what they said they were going to deliver, right? The game that I played in the server slam was not something that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to play a PvPvE extraction shooter, and that's exactly what I got. And that's so rare in gaming that we are holding them up to an even higher platform than they should be, because they did what all gaming companies should do, which is give us what they promised us, right? Regardless of all the stuff that that I'm not a fan of when it comes to Arc Raiders, it's really more so being not a huge fan of extraction shooters just because of everything that I mentioned. But in my opinion, Arc Raiders is fine. It looks fun. If it looks fun to you, buy it. If it looks interesting to you, buy it. If it doesn't, don't. Like, it's really that clear. And that's kind of the great thing about it, is that it is very much like, if you look at it and you see it and you go, wow, that looks like something I would really want to play, you're going to love it. But if you look at it and you go, I don't know about that, then you're not going to know about it when you get it. You're not just going to randomly get it once you get it. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. All of you basement keyboard warriors foaming at the mouth, living in the basement, got the lights off, bro, go touch some grass. It's bad for your eyes. All right. Haters are saying graphics are bad. Haters are saying that the gunplay is bad. Haters are saying, you saying all the stuff that I said, but using it as like a thing about against Arc Raiders versus it just being like not their preference of genre. Saying like, oh, it's just dark, it's just Tarkov, blah, blah, all this kind of stuff. They're even saying that the AI is too hard. You can kite the AI. Just like as an FYI, in case you didn't know if this was possible in Arc Raiders, you can kite the AI. You can literally bait them. So the AI being too hard, I hate to say it, but I think put it right here. That's what I think. But just admit it, the game isn't for you. The game isn't bad. There's no way that this game is bad. Like that doesn't exist. But here's how the conversation usually goes. The Arc lovers like this game is amazing. Go back to COD, right? Arguing with somebody like me, go back to COD. I don't even play COD. What I do play is the finals. That game is amazing. You should play that game. It's also by Embark. If you love Embark, support the finals. And then the Arc hater will be like, play a real extraction shooter. This will flop like Concord. My issues with Arc Raiders, which aren't even really my issues with Arc Raiders. It's really just with people overhyping the game and hating on the game. But just the whole thing with Arc Raiders is it's an extraction shooter, y'all. I get what Embark's doing. I think they're trying to get console players into the space. I think Nexon definitely saw the money potential there, which is probably why I'm assuming that it was contractually obligated for Embark to generate this game because of the popularity of extraction shooters. And I think it's solid, man. I really hope that Arc Raiders succeeds. I hope it does really well. I love Embark. I love how they communicate with the community. I love how they update. I love how they listen, they implement, they care. We can see all of that in the finals. Again, if you haven't played the finals, you should play that game. It's really good. I'm going to do a separate video on that. Will it succeed or flop? I don't know. All we know is that this was just 10% of the game. Can we really make a judgment based on that? Those are my thoughts. Please leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you absolutely hate these takes or agree with them or, whatever, check it out and let me know. Drop a like and subscribe. Check me out on YouTube Shorts. I stream every weekday at 8 o'clock to midnight. I try to. Sometimes I'm late, but I try to. And like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.